Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Pete Cheyne, founder of Bottlepay, which just closed one of the largest seed rounds in the crypto space, led by billionaire hedge fund manager Alan Howard, present and former Goldman Sachs partners, FinTech Collective, and NYDIG. Pete, it's great to meet with you. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Great to meet you. Thanks for having me.
And Pete, the rise of crypto payments continues to play out with new platforms coming on board. How are cryptocurrencies changing the future of payments?
Yeah, look, we've seen a lot of advancements in blockchain technology in recent years that have really helped prepare it for mainstream payments. For us, the best example of this is the Bitcoin network. You can think of it as the first ever open source monetary system. It's funny how history repeats itself. Really, you can look at the Bitcoin network almost as Fedwire layer 2 networks that we're used to, such as Visa and Mastercard. They're now being recreated with protocols such as Lightning. And these are bringing payments to the mainstream that are instant, global, and with minimal fees.
And why do you think large players like Mastercard, Apple Pay, can you continue to jump on this trend?
Well, I think they're scared of losing market share. If you think about how people just onboard into blockchain and crypto assets, it tends to be direct from their bank. So they're being cut out. And now that we have a viable digitally native payments protocol, they're also losing out there. And their networks tend to be closed. They all talk to banks, but actually their payment networks are a closed source system. And now we have open source monetary networks. You know, open networks always have a habit of winning. They consume everything else. So their value prop is at risk. And we're seeing a lot of investments in the space from them, but they're also trying to upscale themselves within their own businesses.
And Pete, let's talk about the underlying technology. How does blockchain continue to disrupt banking?
Yeah, look, blockchain is going after a $5 trillion banking industry. It is slowly disintermediating it. Every single service that banks provide is being disrupted. We're seeing it now. And that's from anything from payments through to clearance and settlement systems. I mean, let's take one example, cross-border payments. That's a $250 billion revenue zone for banks in just 2019. But it's costly and it's slow. But with blockchain, it's instant and it's doing it on a global stage. We're made to believe that banking and the financial system is global. We've never been connected better across the globe, but actually it's not. These payment rails and these monetary systems are inherently local. Blockchain is ubiquitous and it allows people to be their own bank.
And Pete, tell us more about Bottlepay and how it's disrupting the payments landscape.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, blockchain is still quite technically heavy. We want to open up access to this new way of doing payments online. So we're looking to build infrastructure on top of the Bitcoin network to open it up to everyone so that not just techies can access it, but your average Joe and Jane can, and also businesses can take advantage of it too. There's a ton to be done here. It's very much a case of user experience and making this accessible. And really, it's on companies like us to demonstrate what's possible. And I think over the coming years, you're not just going to see existing payment systems disrupted, but you're going to see entirely new economies created, whether that's opening up new ways to actually charge for digital goods and services, or there's the burgeoning metaverse economy, where people are actually recreating skills from the physical world within the digital world. And that's already a multi-billion-dollar industry.
And to wrap up here, why do some experts believe the stage crypto is at right now is only the beginning of a new phenomenon? And do you think this can be compared to what we saw in the real early 1990s when the internet was just taking shape?
Yeah, look, I think they see what we see. You know, we believe that the Bitcoin network is to money to what the internet was to the dissemination of information. It's a truly groundbreaking invention that we are still only scratching the surface of. It's money over IP, it's power back to the people, and it levels the playing field. Look, we're still so early. It's going to be a wild ride, and we're just happy to be part of it.
it is going to be interesting to watch how it plays out. Pete, thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.